Hello, this is Michael Grant with Applied CAX. Today I'm going to go through visualization preferences, and this is a preference that sets the display quality of the part you're looking at, but we're also going to talk about load options because this also has an effect on what you're looking at. So I'll open a sample. It's actually something that is in your default install. You just might not be able to open it in manufacturing, but you'll still be able to open the assembly, or at least parts of the assembly. There's also like fixtures, and so I like to use those as examples because everybody has access to them. So you can kind of see the location here. It's under the mock directory. Sometimes the machines won't load the machine file unless you have manufacturing, but the fixtures will. So here you can see what's cylindrical, has some straight edges or kind of made up of some lines, and so I'm going to go over visualization settings on that. But the other thing I wanted to show is that these aren't fully loading, and I can tell because they're just check marks without boxes, which you can still hide and show with these. But when you don't see a box around it, I know that it's not fully loaded. You can also add a column to your navigator that I believe it's under representation. Yeah. So lightweight. There might even be another one for load state. Yeah. And so there you can see minimally loaded. So that's a good way to kind of look at it. And so you can really customize these. You can even sort them as far as under, if you go under properties and then columns, you can sort and turn them on and off from here. So I'll save that for now. So on restart, we have that still. And so this is your roles, and I usually start with an advanced role, but you can try different roles. The out-of-the-box roles are under content. The advanced role is what turned on the selection bar. So you could see, you can also turn that on. Maybe it's not the selection bar. I guess it's called the top border bar. And so you can also manually turn that on and off. But I like to turn on, different sections here. You can turn on and off. And one handy one is the view group. In this case, I don't think we need it, but it can come in handy to update your display. Okay, so getting back to this. So in this case, we're not fully loaded, and so you're not going to see the visual representation of the part. And also this definitely has an effect on the looks anyway, because if we just open this part in a new window, you can see it already looks better, because when you open a part in its own window, it's fully loaded. And so we don't even, in this case, need to turn up the visualization, I wouldn't think, because it looks pretty good. But we'll fix the assembly side. And so with the role that I loaded, I can get to assembly load options when I open this dialog here. Just selecting on it. If yours doesn't show there, remember that you can use this search up here, and it will find it for you. In some cases, it'll highlight, wow, where it's at. In other cases, for some reason, in this case, it's just letting us select it from there. Okay, so as you can see here under my assembly load options, I have lightweight. Now remember that these do, depending on how large your assemblies are and how powerful your computer is, this will have an effect on speed. Now if you want to just test it and change it in this session, you can just change it here and say, even partially load, okay, and then just close, parts and components for what you have open. And then we'll go reopen it. And so you can see already, we have, not a great visualization, but better. And so I guess this would be a good time to show that setting and see if partially load allows that to display correctly. And so I'm going to File and Preferences, and then we're going to go to Visualization. And now's a good time to also pause and point out that when you want more info, because I'm giving kind of an overview here, you can hit F1 and your system should pull up in context help. So it should pull up the topic. Now it isn't always going to, but in this case it did, and it also pulled it up for my version. So this is the case for assembly load options. Also, when I had that dialog up, you could hit F1 and it would pull it up. Now I've also going to provide a link on, in case your help isn't installed correctly, I can provide a link to NX Online or GTAC and their support center. And you can search for different topics, and then even set the NX version. And so you can select what you see. So documentation would be your help, and knowledge base would be like answered questions and tips and tricks. And so you could set your version. So I'll provide links to these. But for now, going back here, we're in Visualization, Advanced under Accuracy. And I'll set Ultra Fine just so we can see a difference. And I like Fixed because it'll just do everything, not dependent on your zoom level. And so you can see there it did clean that up, and so now the visual representation is better. And so if you want to change this load option as a default, so it's always that way, what you would do is go into that assembly load options, set whatever you want, which we'll leave it at partially load. Go down to saved load options. If you don't see this, it might be that you have less, and sometimes if you have it set to less, it'll open that lower section anyway. There are times I've seen that not work, so you can always come up to this gear icon and say more. And so under save, I'm just going to say save as default. And so now if I restart NX, so I'll pause for a moment. Okay, so now we have it restarted, and if I go into, well, we'll open a part first. I'm not sure that, let's see. Oh, assembly load options does show now. So you can see partially load is still there, and if I go and open the same assembly. Now with your visualization, that's going to be in the particular part or in the session that you're working on. If you want that to be set for new parts, you would go into your templates and set that, and then save your templates. So here we can see that visualization didn't save because I didn't hit save on the part. This particular part is set to read only. All right, thank you.